normally we stand for the pledge, so I'd say we just say the Pledge of Allegiance in our sitting position. Maybe Michelle, you can unmute everybody for the pledge. Eric with the flag. So join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, to the republic,
the nation, for God, indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we got through that piece. Okay. Public comment. Any public comment? Hearing none, we'll move right along. Did the commissioners get a chance to review the minutes?
I have.
Yes.
I would consider a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve as written.
A second.
I'll second that. I'll second that, Mr. Chairman.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes 3.
Aye.
Commission comments and committee reports.
I don't have anything. I just want to point out, I know how busy that the health department is at this time. I want to give kudos to everything that they're doing, and emergency management also.
Okay.
That's all I have.
I would agree with what Commissioner Knoll just said. I have a project concern meeting tomorrow that I'm gonna attend by phone.
Okay. I want to cover a resolution. Everybody should have received in the last hour or so. It's for the Northeast Kansas Multi-County Health Department. It is for to emergency public order issued on the 24th of March 2020 to mitigate the spread of coronavirus epidemic in Atchison County pursuant to that authority. Basically, we want everybody to aren't essential to stay home and not do anything that might help virus. This multi-county department document is available on our website. It's also been emailed over 600 people within the county, and it's on social media. So everybody should be able to see the rules and regulations. I believe that goes into effect at midnight on Wednesday. Chair would like to have a motion for the commission to support this order by NEK. So I would look for a motion for the support of this this emergency management program. So,
I'll make the motion.
So move.
okay. It's been
I'll
moved
second then.
and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none. As soon as you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Passes 3-0. Go back to the agenda here. Okay. Amy, did you want to cover something here? Okay, Jamie has a Atchison County employee COVID-19 policy. It talks about the response from the first Corona Response Act, which signed into law, which is effective April 2nd. Jamie, you want to give everybody a brief overview of what it means?
I don't believe she's on.
I'm looking at her.
I can't.
She's on.
The coronavirus disease 2019 COVID-19 pandemic. This situation is obviously changing on an hourly basis. Therefore, this policy is subject to change. The commission did review the full policy today. This will acknowledge some of the, or acknowledges the Families First Coronavirus Response Act that was put into law last week. And this is going to help our employees with emergency paid sick leave and expanded FMLA under certain conditions. The commission have any questions or concerns regarding this policy?
I have no questions.
I have no questions either.
Then I believe you'll have to go through your process to accept this policy as a temporary amendment to our employee manual.
I'll make the motion to include this temporary addition to our county, you call that manual, Jamie?
Yes, our policy and procedure manual for employees.
Okay, I want to get the correct wording. I'll make that motion.
I'll second it, Mr. Chairman.
It's moved and seconded. Does anybody have any more questions? Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Eric?
Aye.
Passes 3-0.
Thank you very much for doing that. We appreciate it.
Okay, thank you, Jamie. Stacy Waggle, Solid Waste Manager, public hearing on 5-year solid waste plan. I declare that the public hearing is opened. Does anybody like to speak? Hearing nothing, I'll close the public hearing. The chair will entertain a motion to approve the 5-year solid waste management plan as presented.
I so move.
I'll second.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Passes 3-0. Corey Scott, Emergency Medical Service Director, 2020 ambulance grant.
Afternoon, gentlemen. Hopefully this is a piece of good news amongst everything else going on. I assigned a captain on my staff, Robert Brader, to apply for the Assistance to Firefighters Grant Program, which is a federally funded grant. They've opened up money for EMS, specifically ambulance services, and one of the categories is ambulances. So for the 2021 replacement cycle, but the 2020 grant program, we have applied for a 95% with a local 5% match grant for an ambulance. So through having to notify you that we've submitted a grant, that's what I'm doing here. And that if we were to get this grant, we would submit any approval to the county clerk's office at that time. Does anybody have any questions over that process?
What's the timeline like for when this is awarded and when we'll find out?
It's a tiered system, so our application will go through several approval processes and it can be kicked out at any time. Final approval should be within the time frame of this calendar year. I would hate to speculate any further given the federal government's focus on other things right now, so to give you a hard timeline, I don't think is feasible at this point. But
okay, what's the grant? What's the grant based on? Is this need or is it need? Okay.
Need. So we submitted demographics of the community budget, normal things that anybody could walk into the treasurer and clerk's office and ask about. So to give you odds though, I really don't know. I don't know how successful we're going to be on this. So, but it's an avenue of revenue that would take burden off taxpayers.
Okay, great.
Okay, sounds good.
It requires no action at this time, right, Corey?
Correct. No, the application is submitted. The deadline was last Friday, and I think I chose a very good person for this. They submitted a very comprehensive, detailed, and well-written grant.
We didn't have a new ambulance schedule for 2020, did we, Corey?
Not 2020, 2021. So
Will this, if we get this grant, will then the 2021 new ambulance come off the budget?
correct.
Okay.
Correct. So if I budget for a 2021 ambulance during this budget cycle, these monies, if we were granted it, would be able to put that money towards something else.
Okay,
So I
good
still
deal.
want
Let's
to get
hope
the
we get it.
budget because I don't know what the odds of this coming through are.
Yeah, I understand that. Okay.
Thanks, Corey.
You're very welcome.
Roger, you've got some things for us?
Michelle, your thing's muted.
Michelle, you need to, oh, there you go.
You ready for me?
Yes.
A week ago, the commission directed me to proceed with acquiring some contracts to help assist the road and bridge department in acquiring some engineering work in performance with, in connection with several projects that they have going on. A few months ago, we let 4 contracts to Husker Steel for designing bridges. Those 4 bridges will be constructed by Ken Construction. They were done as a design build series. One of the things that does not cover, it covers all the expenses except for the engineering services for inspection. We need to have that inspection done so that the county can adequately document the conditions of these bridges when they're finished and get KDOT to list, upgrade, and rate these bridges for inclusion on their statewide system. That contract, these 4 contracts are for the engineering inspection on all of those projects. They're just the first 4 of several contracts that will come your direction. Now, in this one, I sent you a copy. Each one is being contracted individually, but what I would like to do is highlight a few things in that contract for you. First of all, it gives the location of the bridge which they're going to inspect. One of the items is under project understanding, and they have a direct line in there that says mileage shall not be reimbursed as a reimbursable expense for this project. They are considering this a hometown project. They're located in Oskaloosa, and they will be doing all of the travel, time, and distance for free. Another thing that I would like to go your direction with, under item 2, meetings, reports, and maintenance of the documents. Item E says they will maintain orderly files for project documentation, correspondence, meeting minutes, work directives, change orders, photographs, and all other related documents. Those are the documents that we will need at the end of this project to show what we have. F, under the same item, is maintain a marked up set of drawings and specifications documenting changes of the work during construction. The chief inspector shall combine the above information with information maintained by the contractor and deliver to the county upon substantial completion of the project. This is essentially means they're going to provide some as-built documents that lets us know how it's finally documented. One of the problems you can run into is you have a bridge built, things change, you have the original design project, but if you don't have the upgrades documented, then you won't get that. Additionally, under item 3, certification of substantial and final completion, it says that they will prepare a list to the contractor of all items requiring completion. This is important because we would always do a final punch list that they would need to complete before they could get final. The other thing in there is to determine that the contractor has fulfilled his or her obligations and recommendations in writing, that final payment can be made to the contractor. So they're acting on your behalf to represent to you that this will all be substantially completed and you can make a final payment. I think those are necessary things for your assurance that the projects that you get, these 4 projects total almost $750,000. It is worth the price of these contracts to know that all of that information is going to come back to you in a manner that you need. It is my recommendation that you approve these 4 contracts so that we can have them in reserve when these projects are ready to begin construction.
The chair would entertain a motion to allow the county, the chair to sign these 4 contracts. I have a motion.
I'll make the motion to accept.
I'll second that motion, Mr. Chairman.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes.
Aye.
Okay. Moving right along. I got to get back to my place here. I got so many documents today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Roger.
Okay. Stacy, we got everything for you, right? She's got. We're covered here. We got all you finished, right?
Well, I'm curious, we have to have that resolution.
Okay. So I'm sorry, I didn't.
That's
talk
okay.
about it. So the chair would entertain a motion to approve the 5-year plan for the solid waste management. 2000, and I don't know the exact number. Michelle, do you know the number?
Resolution number is going to be 2020-1465.
Okay, 2020-1465. Do I have a motion to approve?
I so move, Mr. Chairman.
I will second.
It's moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? I might point out that this has been done by the Solid Waste Committee, which is made up of people from municipalities and the county government and all the users of the system. So it's a team effort to come up with this plan. So it isn't something we just wrote up one day. It's taken a lot of time and a lot of meetings. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stacy.
Okay, I'm kind of jumping around here a little bit. Joe Snyder,
Yes,
crude oil bid opening.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Michelle's going to open the bids. Okay.
What are we looking at first? Noxious weed or road oil?
Road oil bid opening.
Okay. I have two bids that came in. The first one I'm opening is Ergon Asphalt and Emulsions. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
I have RS-1HP at $2.35 per gallon. I have the SS1H at $2.25 per gallon.
Repeat, Michelle.
Let me just come back over here. I'll sit right here in front of my thing so you can hear me better. On the Ergon Asphalt and Emulsions, I have the RS1HP at $2.35 a gallon. I have the SS1H at $2.25 per gallon. And then the FOB is $2.06 a gallon. On that same product, the SS1H. And then I have this third product, which is the SS1HP at $2.40 per gallon. And then the FOB is $2.19 per gallon. Pump charge, if requested, will be $75. And the demurrage will be $88 per hour after 2 hours of free unloading time. Are there any other questions on that one? Get this one open. There we go. The second bid we have, which is the final bid we have, is from Vance Brothers. The RS 1 HP is $2 a gallon. The SS 1H is $2 per gallon. The SS 1 HP is $2.20 per gallon. And all three of those list the FOB as Vance Brothers, with the freight of 8 cents per gallon. The pump fee is $65 if requested. And the demurrage is $90 per hour after the first 4 hours free. Any questions on any of that? There are a few delivery terms on the Vance Brothers. Minimum freight charge is $4.50 per loads, less than 46,000 pounds. Return product may be subject to a $100 unloading charge and or restocking charge. Any questions by any of you?
I guess I would like to have Joe either study it and talk about it next week. I don't know how the other commissioners feel. They want to do something today. You got to analyze all that freight and unloading and all that type of thing. The other thing is that there's been a substantial change in the world oil market price in the last 10 days. I'm just wondering if the open market price is better than the bid.
We had the representative from Vance Brothers on earlier. I don't know if he's still available or not.
Yeah.
I'm still here.
You might be able to answer that question Commissioner Bauer had.
Yeah, I can speak to that. Unfortunately, I am aware that the oil market has changed quite substantially over the past couple of weeks. The gas prices have been going down and reflecting that quite rapidly. In the oil asphalt emulsion world, that is much more sluggish and doesn't necessarily have to follow the crude oil curve anymore. And that is because refineries have come up with better techniques to make products that make them more money, put it bluntly. And then also, in order to supply you guys with product, we have to buy in bulk so that we can have product on hand to deliver to you guys. So while the prices of crude oil has gone down, we don't see any of that, and we're not able to pass that on to you. We'd love to be able to pass that on to you, but we can't right now. Does that answer your question?
I think it does.
Well, I know in the past, Jack, that we've dealt with Vance and been very happy with the service we get, extremely happy. And they seem to be, from everything I've got wrote down, cheaper, and they're closer to home, easier for us to go fill up our distributors. So I don't see any reason why not to go with them.
You're making that recommendation?
Well, that's what
I would agree with what
is that what
I would agree with what Joe just said. I would agree with what Joe just said.
Adam, this is Patrick Henderson. I'm the county counselor. Is it you deliver the RS1 HP, but the others we pick up from you in Kansas City? Is that correct?
We can do either or. Historically, you guys have picked up your SS1 HP. You guys sent down a distributor. That is why our prices do not include freight in it. That's why we separated our freight. So, yes, to answer your question, yes. Historically, we deliver the RS1 HP and you pick up the SS1H or SS1 HP.
And Commissioner Bauer, it looks like these are 15 cents lower than the prices last year across the board.
Yes.
So
So the chair would entertain a motion to go with Joe Snyder's recommendation of Vance. I don't know if it's Vance Oil Company or just, I haven't got the document in front of me.
Vance
I'll
will-
make a motion to
I'll
accept.
second that, Mr. Chairman.
Moved in second, is there
I'll
any,
second that.
is there any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Passes 3-0. Okay, moving on.
Thank you, guys.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you, Adam.
thanks, Adam.
Thank you.
Chemical bid opening. You are muted, Michelle, you're muted. You're muted.
You're muted.
Muted. There you go.
I keep trying to keep myself muted for the extra noise. I received one bid for Van Diest Supply Company. That's the only bid I received as of 1 o'clock this afternoon. It looks like the Road and Bridge or Noxious Weed basically put the amount of gallons we wanted in the columns. So I can just read those. They first started off with 20 gallons of the panoramic at 93.64 per gallon. They requested 20 gallons of that, so it's 1,872.80. 720 gallons of the 2,4-D at $12.79 a gallon for a total of 9,208.80. And that's the first portion of it for a grand total of $11,081.60. And then they go further for delivery on or after April 24th, 360 gallons of the 2,4-D corn belt at $12.79 a gallon for $4,604.40. And then 900 gallons of the 2,4-D amine at $902 a gallon for a total of $8,118. 180 gallons of the Remedy Ultra for $45.23 a gallon, grand total of $8,141.40. 768 ounces of the Escort XP at $2.13 an ounce for a total of $1,635.84. And then 36 units of the Milestone at $66.25 a quart for a grand total of $2,385 even. The subtotal on that section is $24,884.64 for a total bid of $35,966.24. And that was Van Diest Supply Company out of Lindsborg, Kansas.
Michelle, how much inventory are we sitting on now? Do you know?
I am unaware of that. Joe may have a little bit of more knowledge on what's.
Not at this moment. We've got quite a bit of 2,4-D, but I don't know, honestly, without running out there and doing it right now.
Okay.
Does that look like it's fairly in line with last year's bids?
Lower, I believe.
It's pretty close to the same, I believe.
It does look to be lower, but that may be because the amounts that we requested were lower.
Did we purposely
That's what I
just
guess.
not get any? Did we purposely not get toward on this year?
We can't right now.
Okay, that answers my question. Do we want to approve this today, or do
It's
we
the only
need to?
bid we have. I don't,
Well, I just didn't know whether we wouldn't have to accept any of them if we thought they were out of line, is the only thing.
no, that's true.
I will definitely get all of these bids scanned and emailed to the commissioners and to you, Joe.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Joe, do you have a recommendation whether we accept it today or not?
I would recommend that we would.
Okay, the chair will entertain a motion to accept the bid as presented today. I have a motion.
I so move.
I will second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? I have one thing to ask. Are we going to have somebody with a noxious weed license in this county?
Well, we are attempting that, but with everything that's going on right now, they've canceled the test till when? End of April.
Okay.
But yes, we are trying to get that accomplished.
Okay. So eventually, they got to come up with something, extend other licenses or whatever. So,
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do, but yes, we are trying.
any other questions or comments? Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Passes 3-0. Okay. So that's all we have for you, right?
I believe so.
Unfinished business.
Wait a minute, Mr. Commissioner. Didn't Joe ask us for some help to do some culvert work? Was we going to discuss that?
I haven't got my list yet
Oh, okay.
because we're in the process of trying to get that right now.
So you're going to come to us whenever you're ready. Huh?
Yes, I just wanted you to be aware of what we were needing to do to get everything accomplished.
But didn't you also say that you're going to need some employees as well?
Well, we bring that up this morning, but we talked about that previously. But we were.
Yeah.
I guess the question is, Joe, we can definitely take it out to people who have the experience, have the manpower to get it done. I think Bill's question is, are we in a position to hire people who could do it? And that they'd have to have the skills necessary.
Right. I think at this point right now, yeah, we need more people, but at the same time, if we can get someone else to come in contracted and do this, it'll be a lot faster and hopefully move us down the road faster towards where we need to go.
I would agree with that on the bigger tubes.
Okay, so we'll have that discussion next week. Any old or unfinished business? I don't show any unless someone has some. I would turn this over to the county councilor for his updates.
Oops, sorry, have to unmute that. There are three things. There is a proposed road agreement with NextEra. This agreement has been sent to the 3 townships that would be involved, which are Capioma, Benton, and Center Township. Center Township has had their special meeting and has returned the signature pages to me. I understand that Commissioner Knoll has those for Benton Township. Is that correct?
I do.
And I have not, I've not spoken with Capioma specifically about what their plan was, but I'll do that this afternoon. This road use and maintenance agreement, it's titled, was tabled last week because of concerns about some unauthorized use of roads. I know Mark Trumbauer is here, and I've spoken with him about this and with others with NextEra. They are definitely taking steps to remediate those problems. The specific problem that came up last week, I'm fairly well satisfied that the bulk of the issues over in Capioma Township had to do with, not with contractors of NextEra, but with private loggers that were coming into the places that they were about to do work to harvest trees ahead of NextEra coming in to do work. And so that's wasn't people that were underneath NextEra's control, as near as I can tell. However, NextEra has already undertaken the steps to bring those roads back into the condition that they were in prior to that. The other issues that we had were primarily down in Center Township, and it's been pretty wet, but the Center Township board, I've talked with 2 of the 3, but they are very happy with the communication and with the efforts so far towards getting those issues resolved. So there has been a change in the agreement since you last saw it, and that is in paragraph 1M, which deals with the possibility of penalties. It previously indicated that there would be 7 notices of documented days in which there was a use of a non-project road by NextEra or its contractors. That's been reduced to 3, and then also the dollar amount of damages was raised from $1,000 to $5,000. I am completely convinced that NextEra is wanting to take every effort that they can make to ensure that our roads are, that the only roads that are used by NextEra or their contractors are the project roads that are identified, and that they will work with their contractors to make sure that happens. So my recommendation would be to adopt and authorize the chairman to execute that agreement. We'll need 5 originals signed. I guess if you're going to use DocuSign or something like that, that would be fine. So if there are any questions, I'd be happy to try to answer them.
Chair, we entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the agreement.
I'll second it.
The chairman to sign.
Yes.
Is there a second?
Yeah, I second it.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I assume we're ready to vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Passes 3-0. Okay, Pat, anything else?
Well, yes, there is. I think Mark Trumbauer and Spencer Jenkins are both with NextEra, and they're on here at the meeting, but neither of them said anything, but I just wanted to acknowledge they're here.
I saw Mark, and I didn't know for sure who Spencer was, but his face isn't on. So it's nice to see them attend.
Commissioners, thank you for the approval, and we're going to continue to work hard to keep the lines of communication open with the county and keep moving forward. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Along with following on the heels of that agreement, under the terms of that agreement, we are to appoint a road engineer. Our recommendation has been to have CFS, Cook, Flatt, and Strobel engineers, designated as the road engineer on the project. They will be representing Atchison County and also the 3 townships. The cost of the of engineering under the agreement will be reimbursed by NextEra. There's one small exception in there, and that has to do with if there's a dispute between engineers, then there might be a small portion of it that would be our responsibility, but generally the responsibility for the engineering services will be paid by NextEra. So I would recommend adoption of that agreement,
A motion?
which is called the Standard
I
Agreement
so
for
move.
Services.
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Passes 3-0. Hey, Patrick, got one more, don't you?
Yes, the last is a resolution to authorize the use of eminent domain procedure. By statute, that has to be authorized. We have a bridge project. The deadline for certifying to the state that the right-of-way has all been acquired is in the first week of April. I can't remember the exact date. But in any event, if we're unable, we've had some difficulty in communicating with one of the landowners. I actually did have a text message, a bit of an exchange with her today during the lunch hour. So it may not be necessary, and obviously I would wait to follow up on that before filing the case. But this could be tabled for until next week, or it could be adopted today with the understanding that I may not file the case if that's all right with you, if we are able to make contact with the landowner.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to table this, see if Mr. Henderson can get this worked out. I don't see where 1 week will make that much of a difference.
I have a second.
I would like to approve it and table it, and then Pat would have the opportunity to go forward with it without having to have another meeting.
Now, I don't want to get crazy, but once something's tabled, it can't be, when the motion's for tabling, there isn't any more discussion.
No, I believe Mr. Henderson said there that we could approve it and he could hold it basically and not file it, correct?
Well,
That's the way I took it.
yes, you said not file it. The resolution would be adopted and would be part of the county's resolutions, and would take a resolution number and would be forever memorialized as having been authorized. If we were able to reach some agreement on price with the landowner, then I could I could wait to file the actual lawsuit. So I hope that clarifies what I meant.
Okay, let's go back to the motion. What's the motion, Bill?
I'd like to see if we get it worked out before we get a condemnation resolution, because I don't, I voiced my opinion on that before, but I don't think the county wants to go there, but if we have to, we have to. But I would like to see if we could, Pat could get it worked out. I don't know. I take it by his conversation with this person that maybe he thinks he can get it worked out. I don't know.
So is that a motion to table?
I already made the motion, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Is there a second? Well, I'll second it for discussion purposes. It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Passes 2-1. Okay. Moving right along. Get back to my spot here. Pat, do you have anything else?
No, I don't.
Okay. Any public comment? Chair, we entertain a motion to adjourn at 1:47 p.m.
Also move.
I'll second that, Mr. Chairman.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Just a second, Commissioner Bauer. I'm sorry to interrupt. I just noticed that someone had called in. I think that's DJ Gleason with NextEra, who was here last week. I don't know if he had something he wanted to say, or if he was just checking to see what the status was. But before we adjourn, because he can't say anything afterwards. DJ was.
I seen that green telephone come up on my screen, but I'm so stupid about this. I didn't know what it meant, but that must have been what you was talking about.
Yeah. DJ,
Yes,
was
sir.
there something you wanted to say to the commission or at the meeting?
No, sir. The meeting invite actually got to 2 o'clock. I was just getting on early to be here on time. Am I guessing it started at 1?
The meeting starts at 1.
Yes, it
Yeah.
was. I think there was a prior that had the hour wrong on it, but anyway, Mr. Trumbauer was here, and I'll talk to you after the meeting.
Sounds good. Thank you, gentlemen. Sorry.
All in favor of adjournment signify by saying aye.
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 Passes 3-0. We're adjourned till next Tuesday. Stay safe.